with the bodybuilding in Samoa, the current situation, it's still a developing sport. Since our last competition, this was back in 2011, that was when we had our last bodybuilding competition. That was currently with the late President Tapasu, who was also the president for the Bodybuilding Federation during that time. But it was under a different federation. It was under the South Pacific Bodybuilding Federation, which currently broke away from the IFBB. The IFBB was the original federation that registered in Samoa. I think this was back in the 90s when Tapasu started bodybuilding. And then when it broke away from IFBB to SPBF, that's when they switched all the federations in the South Pacific. And so it was a bit of a complicated era at the time. People were split, bodybuilders were split in two different directions. So now that since we're registered with IFBB and the sport apparently just died off for a while, from 2011, there hasn't been any activities. So what we're trying to do now is to revive the sport. But in order for us to do that, it's to start from grassroots level. That means start from square one. And our main focus now is starting with the new generation, because we see a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential of, for bodybuilding in Samoa. We see a lot of great physiques. There's a lot of ex-rugby players who are no longer playing rugby. Probably some of them are injured, and they would like to consider bodybuilding as an optional sport. And it doesn't require them, much. Only requires them to train, to diet well, and just to gain that experience. So what we've decided to do is we start from these group of people. We'll start from a new generation, okay? And we're going to start to develop them slowly, and that's why we're having our first competition, which will be November 25th, which will be the Mr. Samoa title. We'll be having judges from overseas, under the guidance of Paul and Carol Graham, who's also the South Pacific Bodybuilding president, who's overlooking all South Pacific, including they've taken back Tonga, Tahiti, all the other nations that were taken by SPBF.